Hi, it's Mark Hesser and wanted to do a really quick video for you here about rescission periods. And this only applies for refinances, also only applies for primary residence. So if you're doing a refinance of an investment property or your lake cabin slash second home, this doesn't apply. So if you're refinancing your primary residence, keep watching. We'll explain this rescission period to you and why you're not getting your money right away after closing. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump over real quick to a calendar screen.
So if you have a refinance of your primary residence, there's a little unique thing called a rescission period, and that's put in place back in the old days when people were getting strong-armed into doing loans. So this gave you an opportunity to change your mind. So here's what would happen. Let's just use, for example, that we close here on the 6th. All right, so let's say we close here. This is the easiest one, okay? There will be a 3-day rescission period. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and then it'll fund on the 10th. So the fund is when the check is, if you got any cash out coming, where you'll get your check. And then this is also where the title company will send your payment off to your current servicer to pay off your current loan. Okay? So that's the first easy one right there. Let's try another one. Let's just say we close on the 14th. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, but this is a Saturday. So we can't close or we can't fund on a Saturday because the banks are closed. Can't fund on a Sunday, so then this will be funding on the 20th. Okay? So there's many different scenarios. Let's go try another one here. Let's close on the 1st. All right? So we're going to close. We're going to go 1, 2. There can be a rescission day on Saturday. 3. And then it'll fund here. So we're going to have to do a little erasing. And this would be our fund date. So there you go. Kind of a complex calculation there. So just the big thing to think about is your loan does not pay off on the day you close. Typically, it's 5 days later, like we have in this scenario here. We close here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, funding here. Okay? So keep that in mind as you're doing your planning, because we're always looking at a couple things. Number one, making sure we have things paid on time. And number two is the 15th here is usually when your payment would be late and you'd have a penalty for that. So we like to get loans funded by that. And another thing to keep in mind, because some people will look over their payoff and say, well, wait, why is the number so far off? So let's just say we are closing again on the 6th. All right? We got our 1, 2, 3. It funds here. So if those funds are mailed out today, and they usually typically overnight them, those funds may not get to the lender or your current servicer until the 13th, and they will always put a couple extra days in there, maybe to the 14th or 15th, because if it gets there on the 13th and they don't apply it right away and they're short by a few dollars because they didn't send enough, then they'll send it back. So then it gets to be where it's way out here before the payment gets made, and then it turns into a big mess. So the title company will always throw about 3 to 5 extra days onto your payoff and overpay it so that you get the money back.
So I hope that brief little video walking through the calendar on the rescission periods answered any questions that you may have on rescission periods. If you have a question on your very specific situation or any other questions, feel free to give us a holler and have a great day.